Deep beneath the frost-backed mountains sits Orzammar, the larger of two known remaining dwarven cities in the world. Orzammar was once the seat of a major empire connected by tunnels called deep roads, which stretched thousands of miles. The city now stands alone, cut off from the rest of the dwarven ancestral lands by the Darkspawn incursion. Secure in Orzammar's impregnable construction, the dwarven noble houses continue their centuries-old power struggles. Assassination and blackmail are commonplace, but the appearance of honor is paramount. You are the second child of King Endron of House Eidukon, the 9th Eidukon ruler elected by the Noble Assembly. You grew up in a world rife with political intrigue and have struggled against brothers and cousins for honor and prestige. Today, a feast celebrates your first military commission, the opening move towards real power in the ever-changing game of dwarven politics.
Greetings, my lord. You are dressed and ready. Excellent. I couldn't find the armor's matching dagger, but I scrounged up a rather fancy longsword. Do you wish to wear your shield to the noble's feast? Why not? The Assembly Lords aren't fond of being confused. Tonight, we should stick to traditional garb. Next feast, though, elf ears. That'd be unexpected. One can't take all this marching about and speech-making too seriously. Moving on to the business at hand. The king expects you to make an appearance at the feast, but there's no rush. The noble family heads will spend hours boring your father with petitions and petty grievances. Out and about. I saw them on my way here, browsing the shops. As part of the celebrations, permits have been auctioned off to members of the merchant caste who wish to sell wares in the Diamond Quarter. Lord Harrowmont has also opened up the provings for young warriors to test their mettle before tomorrow's battle. Perhaps we should go show them what single combat is really all about. And by we, I mean you. I'll practice my cheering. You remember last year's open proving? It took your father's smith 6 hours to remove my helmet. I'm not meant for single combat. I fight as my lord's second in shield. That's enough for me. Right behind you, my lord. The day is ours until the feast. My lord. Not much that you don't already know. My father's father was a great hero of the Deep Roads excursions and raised the family to the top of the warrior caste. He was even nominated to join the assembly and found a noble house, but the honor was in the nomination. He wasn't afforded a single vote. My father served your father for many years, and now I serve you. Yes, I yearn to face the Darkspawn and prove my worth as your second. May the stone support us, and the ancestors look down with pride. As you will. My lord. As you will.
It has begun. am at your service. No sign of trouble here.
Am I looking in? Oh. Please tell us. I'm sorry. I thought you were Prince Balin coming down the hall. Forgive me.
It seems she's one of your brother Balin's newest, companions. Prince Balin is attending the feast being held in Lord Edukan's honor.
Yes, of course. It was presumptuous of me to think that he would return to... I am sorry. I will show myself out, with your leave, my lord. Thank you. I will go now.
Congratulations on being named commander, my lord.
As you say.
I am proud. Good day, Lord Edukan. I am at your service.
I shall do it.
Your father has allowed the merchants to show their wares in the Diamond Quarter during these celebrations.
Please, Master Volney. My work is accredited by the Shaper.
These books are lies written by the enemies of House Volney.
I write only what I find in the ancient records. Lord Edukan, you can vouch for my work, can't you? Your father loved my History of Edukan, Paragon King, Peacemaker.
This worm has written a book that slanders my house. It doesn't matter, it's all lies.
My work tells the stories of all those raised paragons in the last 500 years. When the Assembly names a paragon, that man or woman is then, by definition, everything one can aspire to be in the world. They form their own noble houses and are revered as living ancestors. But paragons start off as men.
Volney was more than a man.
Volney became a paragon by the narrowest margin in history. One vote. A vote mired in rumors of intimidation, intrigue, and outright bribery. The records of that vote are kept in the Shaperate and are a matter of fact. Not liking history doesn't make it any less true.
You're taking his side? What if he published a book like this about your paragon Edukan? You would not say so if it was your house, but I shall respect your wishes. For now, excuse me, Your Highness.
That fool has no idea how weak his house is or how low he sits in it. Shall I have him killed, my lord?
Well, historically, it has been prudent to eliminate a small threat before it becomes larger.
How do you want it done? Understood.
You've shown yourself more daring and aggressive today than most believed of you. Someday I hope to write of the great exploits you are sure to perform.
Word has been sent. He won't live past the hour.
You've shown House Edukan a friend to research, history, and the glory of our people. Of course, I have much to document and organize. Good day, Your Highness, and thank you.
Did you see those noble hunters? Shameful.
My lord, these are surface.
Enjoying the festivities so far?
Quite.
Ordered my skills.
Who hasn't?
Himself wearing a robe made of something quite similar.
So I pay your exorbitant price, only to end up looking like a poor imitation of Prince Balin. You'll get no coin from me.
But that's not what I meant, my lord. My lord Edukan, you honor me by visiting my humble booth. May I show you my wares? Not for a mighty warrior such as yourself, my lord, but perhaps a lady friend. I forget myself. I'll be silent.
This looks to be mostly fabrics from the human lands. These merchants form alliances with those who have abandoned our ways to live on the surface. According to the scholars, more than 500. Does it matter? The surfacers are lost to us. Perhaps we should get going.
Possible. The Darkspawn will surely run into you.
Our trust follow, big brother. How surprising to run into you out among the common folk.
Especially since duty requires that you attend our King Father at the feast today. Have you so little respect for him to disregard his wishes on a day set aside for you?
Lord Harrowmont told me we wouldn't be needed for hours at least.
Silence! If I want the opinion of my sibling's second, I will ask for it.
Yes, Your Highness.
You're on your own. I've been dealing with him all afternoon.
What exactly is that supposed to mean, little brother?
Nothing, Trian. I've been having a great time. The speech you gave to the legless boy about hard work and making something of himself was fantastic.
As heir to the throne, it is my duty to impart wisdom and judgment upon those who need it. Now then, you, get to the feast. Stubborn, aren't you? When I'm king, I will help you get over that. Come, Balin.
That was fun. Nothing like being talked down to by the next king. Perhaps this isn't the best place for that sort of talk, shall we?
My lord Edukan, nothing here rivals your amazing Edukan armor, but if you wish something made...
You know very well House Edukan has its own royal armorers.
Of course. Forgive me. Your Highness's legendary prowess is matched only by your kindness. I buy only the finest iron ore, and personally oversee the armor's crafting by the most skillful of the smith caste. Of course, the honor was all mine.
Look at this piece, darling.
What have we here? Two handsome, strapping, noble lords. You both look so grand.
And isn't this the man of the hour, the king's son?
Who's your friend, my lord? Another noble from the honored House Edukan? Oh, then not a noble?
No, Telly, not a noble. Stone you're thick sometimes.
They're noble hunters, my lord. A man takes his caste from his father, and these women hope to bear a noble lord's son. If one is successful, she's raised up to concubine in the noble house to care for her child. It provides new sword arms for the house, and many nobles look favorably on such women.
You're the most appealing, obviously. A noble from the best house there is. Handsome, too.
Are you interested in a bit of bedded diversion?
Shall I come to your chambers after the ceremony, then?
I talked to him first. I want him.
He's looking for a woman, Telly, not a little girl. I'm Marty, and I know how to give my lord a night he'll remember.
Oh, my lord has his energy about him.
There will be no 3 to a bed if that's what you're thinking. We both require full experiences all to ourselves. If you think you can manage us both, though. This should prove most interesting. We will wait for you together, my lord, and show you the proper way to celebrate a princely commission.
You honor us with your presence, Lord Edukan.
They're fighting the provings in your honor. How exciting.
Shall be done.
Invest in the next great trade expedition!
You bring great glory to your house, my lord.
My lord, are you heading to the proving arena? We have been charged with the task of escorting you to the proving grounds.
I clean forgot about that. Forgive me, I should have informed you sooner. The king decided you were not to travel through the commons unguarded. I did mention the merchants that won permits to show their goods in the Diamond Quarter. There were only so many permits auctioned off, and quite a few were turned away. Your father fears you will be harassed on the way to the proving.
Will we be leaving then? We will be here.
Nothing beats a good set of steel cutlery.
I am at your service.
You sure you want to go to the feast now? I doubt we can escape to see the provings once we're inside. A great many nobles will want your ear today. If we're going to have some fun, we should go to the provings now. I can't wait to see who's fighting today.
Do you wish to leave for the proving grounds, my lord? We are at your command. It's a great day for a proving.
Your Highness, it is an honor to have you here. Have you come to watch these brave warriors do battle in your honor? Your Highness, this proving is in your honor.
Then honor him by doing as he says. My Lord Edukan will fight in this proving.
Of course, it is well within your rights. Men and women of Orzammar, we have a late entry to these provings, held on the eve of battle for the honor of House Edukan. I give you the Lord Edukan himself. Are you ready for your first match? Then let us begin! This is a glory proving, fought under the watchful eyes of the paragons of Orzammar, for the honor of House Edukan. Lord Edukan will fight Aler Bimo, youngest son of Lord Bimo.
You honor me with this match.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight! The winner is Lord Edukan. That was quite a fight. Aler Bimo is no slouch with that hammer. Are you ready for your next opponent? Adal Helmi, a woman, Your Highness. She's a tenacious fighter. Excellent. Let us go. This is a glory proving, fought under the watchful eyes of the paragons of Orzammar, for the honor of House Edukan. Lord Edukan will fight Adal Helmi, eldest daughter of Lady Helmi.
Honor and glory to your house, Your Highness.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight! The winner is Lord Edukan. That was a crowd pleaser. Many were waiting to see that woman put in her place. Sir Blackstone is your next opponent. Are you ready to face him? One of the best of the warrior caste. He achieved glory in close combat assault in the deep roads. Then let us begin! This is a glory proving, fought under the watchful eyes of the paragons of Orzammar, for the honor of House Edukan. Lord Edukan will fight Sir Blackstone, Deep Road squad leader of the warrior caste.
This is your education, child. Try to learn as you bleed.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight! Well done. You have proven that even the best of the warrior caste cannot match a noble Edukan. Franlin Ivo is your final opponent. He too has had many victories today. Are you ready to face him, or will you rest first? He is a decorated fighter who prefers unusual weapons and rarely fights with the same techniques twice.
House Ivo is relatively inconsequential, but Franlin may change that. He's expected to take a full command of his own soon.
Very good. This is a glory proving, fought under the watchful eyes of the Paragons of Orzammar, for the honor of House Edukan. It is down to just 2 warriors, with backbones of stone and wheels of iron. They have defeated all others this day. Lord Edukan will fight Franlin Ivo, second son of Lord Ivo.
You fight well. I wish you glory today and glory tomorrow.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. The victor is champion. Fight! Congratulations! Franlin Ivo is as fierce a competitor as I've ever seen. You vanquished every warrior of note in today's proving. The ceremonial helm, commissioned by your father for today's winner, is yours. The people will remember your honor and generosity for all time.
Good showing there, my lord. Your opponents will be licking their wounds all eve.
My lord? We will take a break when we are done here. For now, we are here to serve. Your wish is our command.
Look, the Grey Wardens are here. The raid tomorrow must be more than a standard mission. The Wardens...
Many thanks for your willingness to hear me out, my lord. I wish to speak to you of a matter most urgent. There is a vote coming before the Assembly next week. And a word from you could go a long way towards helping our cause. The vote concerns the status of the so-called surface caste. Lost to the stone, air-touched, and so forth. Centuries ago, narrow-minded men declared that any dwarf who left to live on the surface forfeited his caste, and his house if noble. That he was, in essence, no longer a dwarf. I seek only to remedy an injustice, to retie the bonds of anyone who can trace himself to one of the noble houses wherever he may live. Please, agree to speak for this noble cause. I keep my ears to the stone, my lord. I hear many things, some of which could be a great help during your mission tomorrow. A little forewarning to help your forearming, if you know what I mean. When your father presents you to the noble houses, I will ask for your opinion on the matter. You have merely to say that you feel our surface brothers should be returned their noble rights. What could be more simple?
I don't know that I trust Lord Dace. Was there something else? As you will.
Your mother would melt the stone if she knew what you just did. Lord Dace is playing you false. Go ahead, be his puppet. Your first command will be marked by every major house turning their back on you. Last spring, a guild from the merchant caste invested heavily in an expedition with a guild from the surface. Lord Dace backed the merchant guild, pouring a great deal of money into the venture. The expedition was a disaster. Clever child. Lord Dace lost a great deal of money and prestige. The Surface Guild has no way to repay the investment, but it does have several leading members who are descended from noble houses. House Helmi, Bimo, Edukan. You begin to see the whole picture. Your house and mine would be forced to pay the Surfacer's kin debts. It would be a great victory for Lord Dace. The Surface Caste gave up their noble ties willingly, generations ago. Will you humiliate your house and your father for them? Well, don't think too long.
You return. Were my instructions unclear? And what did she have to say? I see. Some preposterous story, I'm sure. I suppose it could. I mean, well, it's the spirit of the law that's important, right? Our poor, disenfranchised service brothers. Ah, well played, Your Highness. Welcome to Assembly politics. Now, if you'll excuse me... You haven't made a friend here today.
Greetings, my Lord Edukan. It is an honor to meet you at last. I have had the opportunity to recently meet with your father. He speaks highly of you. He says you may be the quickest fighter in all of House Edukan. Your response speaks of maturity beyond your years. We need more Grey Wardens like you, and quickly. Even as the Darkspawn weaken here in Ozamor, they are stirring on the surface. A blight has begun. Soon the fight must go beyond the deep roads, lest the Darkspawn threaten all the world. You know of our dedication to destroying the Darkspawn, our frontline presence during a blight. What else would you know? Over the centuries, many dwarves have made names for themselves in our order. These days, however, there are fewer dwarves and thus even fewer dwarven Grey Wardens. A pity, since dwarven warriors have the most experience fighting Darkspawn. Being a Grey Warden means abandoning all ties to your old life. It means dedicating yourself to destroying the Darkspawn. Truly? Then I will speak to your father after tomorrow's battle. I have my doubts he will relent, but there is always hope. Until then, good luck to you. Show the Darkspawn what your people are made of.
Trade contracts alone could bring great prosperity to our houses.
Will we really turn our back on our brothers and a potential fortune in cheap labor because of a political technicality?
Denial of the traditions of our people does not qualify as a political technicality. There is more to life than monetary gains, my lords Bimo and Mido. The Assembly of Kal Sharok will respect the rule of Orzammar, or they will rot and die alone, surrounded by enemies.
Yes, my king.
But look, we have company to spare us further wrangling. Atrast Vala, my son. How fine you look in your great-grandfather's armor. I hear you were declared champion of the Provings. I suppose you were never one to sit by when something exciting was going on. Are you ready to be presented to the heads of the noble houses? So dutiful. Very well, let us begin. Lords, ladies, grant me a moment of your time. We are here today so I may present to you my second eldest child, blessed by the stone and born of the blood that ran in the veins of the Paragon Edukan. Who would pose a question to the prospective commander? Who seeks to know the prospect better? No? Very well then. The ritual is complete. I give you Orzammar's next commander. Tomorrow, our newest commander will lead part of a mission to strike a great blow to the Darkspawn. Not only does this recover access to some of our most important mines, but it also allows our honored guest Duncan, head of Ferelden's Grey Wardens, to strike far into the deep roads.
Thank you, King Endrin. While the Darkspawn seem to withdraw, it is only because they are massing on the surface. This could mean a blight, and my men and I will discover the truth.
We are honored to have you with us, my friend. Now, feast, drink, and celebrate, for the morning brings battle! As for you, my new commander, find your brother Trian and send him to me. He may be watching the Provings, or getting some rest in his rooms. Walk well, Commander.
What did you think of the Grey Warden? You've always been a good judge of character. Was there something else? As you will.
May the ancestors grant us victory against the Darkspawn.
If it isn't our newest commander, congratulations, Your Highness.
Your father is very proud of you. Congratulations.
Quickly, find Trian and send him to me.
Good luck to you tomorrow.
May House Edukan grow in strength and power.
I am at your service.
Well played with young Brinton.
My lord.
I am at your service. It has begun.
So you're a commander now, in name at least. Shouldn't you be attending our King Father? Of course he does. We must discuss strategy before tomorrow's battle. Balin, stay here and stroke the new commander's conceit if you like. But then get to bed.
All day I've put up with that. He can really grate on the nerves. And what I'm going to tell you next won't make you any more fond of him. Probably not, but you need to all the same. Trian has begun to move against you. I never thought his much-proclaimed honor would allow him to actually act on his jealousy. Big brother, Trian is going to try to kill you. He fears what you are becoming, in the eyes of the people and the Assembly. Trian's the named prince, but only the Assembly can proclaim a king. It would be unusual for the Assembly to ignore the king's choice, but it does happen.
The founder of House Bimo became a paragon and king in one move from the Assembly, and he was a commoner.
That was an extraordinary case, but at least a half-dozen times the Assembly named a lesser family member, or even someone from another house, as king. Usually, it's the popular younger brother of an undesirable prince. Look at it from his perspective. You're more personable than he's ever been. You entered the provings held in your own honor just for glory and to please the crowds. If you win glory against the Darkspawn tomorrow, it will only strengthen the case for you as the next heir. Trian Veer's father will replace him on the spot. If not, the Assembly will surely turn against him when father dies. You know his pride will never allow him to step aside. You're the elder. I'll follow your lead as always. Of course. You've always been there for me. I'm afraid I must agree with you. Tomorrow's battle is the time to do it. I'll find out the rendezvous and buy you the time to do what must be done. I'm taking your place as father's second, so I'll be at hand tomorrow. For now, try to get some sleep.
Let's go. You don't want to keep those lovely ladies waiting.
Trian and his men will clear the way for the Grey Wardens to descend into the easternmost caverns. Those caverns are still infested by the worst of the Darkspawn. We cannot risk our own troops in there.
Understood, Lord Harrowmont. We should be able to sense the Darkspawn and avoid them once the way is open.
May the Paragons favor you, and the stone catch you if you fall.
Come men, glory awaits!
Balin, you and your men will second the king, clearing the main road.
Don't you think it looks a little cowardly to allow these humans to take our place where the fighting is thickest?
Are you questioning the battle plan?
Of course not. I'm sure your caution is for the glory of us all.
Enough, Balin. Take your men and make ready. Harrowmont and I need to have words with your sibling.
Good luck, my brother.
Your father has a special mission for you.
In the eastern deep roads, there is a secret door carved into the stone.
The door leads to a Taiga, abandoned long ago by your ancestors. The Darkspawn have made it impossible to reach.
My father believed that the shield of the Paragon Edukan remains in that Taiga, under the stones of the central room. Reclaim the shield, and glory will be yours.
We've sent 2 scouts ahead to make sure the tunnels are cleared. But be careful. One of the scouts will meet you at the first crossroads you come to. The second will be further in. When you get to the door, use your signet ring to open it. Questions? Very good. The crossroads where you meet the first scout will be the rendezvous point. There you can present the shield to the lords and demonstrate the strength of Eidoukan.
May the ancestors watch over you, my child.
You made it, Commander. Did you run afoul of any darkspawn? Still, that was more than we expected. Once I finished scouting the tunnels, I hid here to avoid the darkspawn. Most tunnels are dead ends. The one we want is swarming with those fiends. It's going to be a fight. I was, indeed. Your gift of the helm was amazingly generous. I will treasure it always. May today's battles bring us even more glory. I'll take rear guard. Shall we move?
You're here? I thought the Darkspawn had got you for sure. And I'll make sure I'm behind you if we're swarmed. We want the tunnel ahead, but there are Darkspawn tracks all over it. Be careful. I haven't ventured more than 100 yards ahead, for fear of alerting other Darkspawn. I'll follow your lead, Commander.
Looks like someone beat us to the door.
This Darkspawn body is still fresh. Whoever opened the door is most likely still in there.
It could have been stolen. Recently, or generations back.
Or it could be an ambitious cousin out for his own glory.
Understood. Let's move, men.
So glad you could finally join us. We feared you got eaten by Darkspawn. Turns out the shield isn't quite as easy to retrieve as I was led to believe. I wager you know where it is, though. So maybe you tell me where it is, and I won't mutilate your body so bad your father doesn't recognize you. A funny nobleman. Just what the world needs. Now kill these idiots. Kill!
Is that an Edukan signet ring? I guess that's how they got in here. The ring is Trian's. That means he... It would have been a major victory to get the shield first, but he showed his hand and failed. The first way we can hurt him is to find that shield ourselves. You have your orders, boys. room. How do we get the shield? You two, see if you can spot anything.
It has begun. Very well.
It seems some of these tiles are different from the others. That's it. We've got it.
Doesn't look like much.
The skill of our crafters has come far since then. But still, the Shield of Edukan.
If it helps rally the troops, it's a good thing. We need to get to the other rendezvous point. Back in the direction we came from, at the crossroads.
To the crossroads.
Did you hear?
Aye.
There'll be more of those mercenaries.
I am ready.
Take that!
Trian were really scheming against us, this would be the perfect place for an ambush. We've got the shield, and we're all alone out here.
What's that you're muttering about? Fantastic. As if the Darkspawn weren't enough to worry about.
Just keep your eyes open.
I trust Valor, brother. Anything you have to say can be said here in front of our men. I didn't wear it today. I didn't wish to risk losing it in battle. Don't attempt to cast your dark shadows back on me. You have plotted to murder me so you could take my place as heir. You convinced Balin to help take my men and me by surprise. Do you deny it? I am a better warrior than you will ever be, boy. Still, I will not give you the glory you so desire. I am your prince. I will not fight you. You and your companions will throw down your weapons, confess your treason, and be tried in front of the assembly. It will be your end, brother. May the stone reject your unworthy, treacherous body. Kill the traitors! Ah!
Hurry, Father, before it's too...
By all the ancestors, what has happened here?
It seems we weren't fast enough. Balin was right.
My son, tell me this isn't what it looks like.
Can you prove it?
You could have got that ring anywhere. Can these men substantiate your claim?
It's true. There were men in the Tig trying to steal the shield.
Sir Gorham, your loyalty makes you a useless witness. It falls to others to tell the story. You, Scout, what happened here?
Trian and his men were here early. It seems they'd done battle with the Darkspawn. Lord Edukan came up to them all friendly-like, but when we got close, he ordered us to attack. Friendlin Ivo, you are a good and noble man. Did the scout speak the truth?
He did, my lord. It was terrible. Prince Trian didn't stand a chance. Afterward, my lord stripped his signet ring.
You treacherous bastard! Silence, Gorham. Do you have anything else to say, my son? I want to believe that. I really do.
Bind him. He will be judged before the assembly. To Orzammar.
Orders and all, you understand?
Of course. Leave us alone, will you please?
Yes, sir.
I would have come sooner had they allowed it. How are you? You were lied to. made to think that you acted in your own protection. And that's not all. Balin has taken Trian's place in the Assembly. He introduced a motion to condemn you immediately, and it easily passed. He had fully half the Assembly ready to vote on something completely against tradition and justice. He must have been making deals and alliances for months, if not years. I'm afraid so. Some of the lords, especially Harrowmont, are suspicious of Balin's instant rise to power. They are rallying, but far too slowly. The Assembly has already sentenced both of us. My knighthood will be stripped, my name torn from my family records. But I will be allowed to attempt some sort of life on the surface. Lord Harrowmont moved for a similar exile for you, but Balin's supporters overwhelmed him. You were to be sealed in the deep roads to fight Darkspawn until you were overwhelmed and killed. Lord Harrowmont says the king is taken ill. He couldn't bear losing 2 of his children at once. Lord Harrowmont gave me access to see you so I could tell you this. Duncan and the Grey Wardens are still in the deep roads, in tunnels connected to those you are to be left in. If you survive long enough to find the Grey Wardens, you may be able to escape with Duncan. Well, perhaps this was meant to be. If you can find them, I'm sure you can join them and escape the deep roads. Balin underestimated you, much as we underestimated him. I begged to go with you and fight at your side, but Balin's pet nobles wouldn't hear of it. I would give up all the safety in the world to go down this dark path with you. Our time is up. May the Paragons guide your sword and the stone hold you up. I will always be your man, my Lord Edukan.
They are ready for you now. Here is the prisoner, Lord Harrowmont.
Having been found guilty of fratricide by the Assembly of Orzammar, you are hereby sentenced to exile and death. Your name is from this point forward stripped from the records. You are no longer a person, nor a memory. You are to be cast into the deep roads with only sword and shield. Dare to redeem your life by fighting the enemies of Orzammar until your death. Do you have anything to say before the sentence is carried out? I understand your anger. You should have been allowed to defend yourself. Had I the power to stop this, I would have. Look me in the eye and tell me you didn't do this. For your father's sake. Trian's blood is on Balin's hands as well as yours. I will do everything I can to make sure he does not profit by it. Soldier, hand the accused your sword and shield. Open the doors and let the condemned walk through. May the stone accept you when you fall.
By the Maker, it's a dwarf.
Lord Edukan, what are you doing here alone? Where are your troops? And you as well. Although I'm still filled with questions, such as why are you here in these tunnels alone? May I ask what happened? Ah, you have been made to walk the deep roads then.
You mean you were exiled? What happened?
I do not think matters of dwarven honor are any business of ours. You need not answer, friend. Lord Trian? I see. The brutal intrigue of the Dwarven court continues then. Your father intimated as much. I will not ask what happened. You are the child of my old friend, and do not deserve to die in this pit. You have already proven yourself both resourceful and skilled, and I would expect nothing less from an Edukon. When last we spoke, you told me you wished to join our order. I imagine this isn't quite what you meant, but you may still find great honor here. As leader of the Grey Wardens in Ferelden, I would like to formally invite you to join our order. Then welcome. We leave immediately for Ostagar to join with the human forces facing the Darkspawn hordes led by King Kaelan. Stay close. There are still Darkspawn around every corner. We will be traveling south through the hinterlands to the ruin of Ostagar, on the edges of the Korkari Wilds. The Tevinter Imperium built Ostagar long ago to prevent the Wilders from invading the northern lowlands. It's fitting we make our stand here, even if we face a different foe within that forest. The King's forces have clashed with the Darkspawn several times, but here is where the bulk of the Horde will show itself. There are only a few Grey Wardens within Ferelden at the moment, but all of us are here. This blight must be stopped, here and now. If it spreads to the north, Ferelden will fall.
Ho there, Duncan.
King Kaelan. I didn't expect a
royal welcome? I was beginning to worry you'd miss all the fun.
Not if I could help it, Your Majesty.
Then I'll have the mighty Duncan at my side in battle after all. Glorious. The other wardens told me you'd found a promising recruit. I take it this is he?
Allow me to introduce you, Your Majesty.
There's no need to be so formal, Duncan. We'll be shedding blood together after all. Ho there, friend. Might I know your name? Pleased to meet you. The Grey Wardens are desperate to bolster their numbers, and I, for one, am glad to help them. It's good to see one of the honorable stout folk outside Ordomar. Sounds like there's a story behind that. You must regale me with it sometime. I meant after we defeat the Blight, of course. I doubt Loghain will give me a moment's rest until then. I've been to Orzammar. King Endrin invited my father to a grand proving long ago. How does Endrin fare these days? Well, it seems your story may be even more interesting than I suspected. Allow me to be the first to welcome you to Ostagar. The Wardens will benefit greatly with you in their ranks. I'm sorry to cut this short, but I should return to my tent. Loghain waits eagerly to bore me with his strategies.
Your uncle sends his greetings and reminds you that Redcliffe forces could be here in less than a week.
Ha! Eamon just wants in on the glory. We've won 3 battles against these monsters, and tomorrow should be no different. Overconfident, some would say. Right, Duncan?
Your Majesty, I'm not certain the Blight can be ended quite as quickly as you might wish.
I'm not even sure this is a true Blight. There are plenty of Darkspawn on the field, but alas, we've seen no sign of an archdemon.
Disappointed, Your Majesty?
I'd hoped for a war like in the Tales. A king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a tainted god. But I suppose this will have to do. I must go before Loghain sends out a search party. Farewell, Grey Wardens.
What the king said is true. They've won several battles against the Darkspawn here. True. Despite the victories so far, the Darkspawn horde grows larger with each passing day. By now, they look to outnumber us. I know there is an archdemon behind this, but I cannot ask the king to act solely on my feeling. Yes, we should proceed with the ritual. Every recruit must go through a secret ritual we call the Joining in order to become a Grey Warden. The ritual is brief, but some preparation is required. We must begin soon. Feel free to explore the camp here as you wish. All I ask is that you do not leave it for the time being. There is another Grey Warden in the camp by the name of Alistair. When you're ready, seek him out and tell him it's time to summon the other recruits. Until then, I have business I must attend to. You may find me at the Grey Warden tent on the other side of this bridge, should you need to.